Welcome to GOA365 English News Bulletin. I'm Leena and these are the headlines. Governor applauds government's effort to improve crime detection rate up, growth in the state GDP, revenue figures despite COVID-19 in his address of the 8th Assembly session. Tavadkar was elected as Speaker on Tuesday and state budget will be presented on Wednesday. Kamoli Raya locals upset as the water bills gets high despite government promise of 16,000 units of water free. And now for the news in detail. The Governor P.S. Sridharan Pillai applauded government's effort to bring crime detection rate up, improvement in the ranking in sustainable development goals, growth in the state GDP and revenue figures despite COVID-19 pandemic during his address to the 8th session of Goa Legislative Assembly.
The overall crime detection rate of Goa stood at 82.85% in 2021. Valpoi Police Station has achieved 4th rank among the 10 best police stations in the country, Governor said, congratulating the state's police department.
Safety is everyone's responsibility. My government is committed for well-being, security, and safety of the citizens and the tourists traveling to Goa from all parts of the world. During untiring efforts of the police, the overall crime detection rate stood at 82.85% in 2021. I congratulate the police department as Valpoi Police Station has achieved 4th rank among the 10 best police stations in the entire country.
The state has progressed well in all spheres and secured 4th position in the country by scoring an index of 72 points in the Sustainable Development Goals in India Index 3.0 report published by the Niti Aayog, he said. Goa is among the only 5 states in the country to become an achiever by scoring 100 points in the SDG. Our target is to become the first achiever in all SDGs by 2029, the Governor said.
That the state has progressed well in all spheres and secured 4th position or rank in the country by scoring an index of 72 points in the Sustainable Development Goals SDG, India Index 3 report published by the Niti Aayog. Goa is the only state in the country to become an achiever, I mean score of 100 points in SDG 6 clean water sanitation and SDG 7 affordable and clean energy. Our target is to become first achieve in all SDGs by 2029.
The gross state domestic product at current prices for the year 2020-21 stood at Rs 78,337.92 crore, registering growth of 4.69% as compared to the previous year, despite economic impact of the world due to COVID-19. The state's per capita income is Rs 5.04 lakhs for the year 2020-21, which is the highest in the country, portraying robust and healthy economy.
Though the state as well as the entire country has suffered second and third waves of COVID, still the state managed to collect excise revenue to the tune of Rs 514.91 crore in the year 2020-21 as compared to Rs 491.83 crore in 2019-20, depicting an increase of revenue by 4.69%.
The Governor said the government has received an amount of Rs 150 crore out of Rs 300 crore toward infrastructure development from the Government of India for celebration of the 60th Goa Liberation Day. The Governor also applauded initiatives of the government like Swaympurna Goa and Sarkar Tumchidari.
My government has received an amount of Rs 150 crore out of 300 crore towards infrastructure development from the Government of India for celebration of the 60th Goa Liberation Year.
The state has a per capita income of Rs 5.04 lakhs for the year 2020-21, which is the highest in the country. Mopa Airport likely to be commissioned by August 2022. 219 projects with employment potential of 39,241 approved. Overall crime detection rate stood at 82.85% in 2021. Goa stands fourth in the country by scoring an index of 72 points in the STG. State's GDP growth at 4.69% compared to previous year. 447 medical procedures provided under the Deen Dayal Swasthya Seva Yojana. 27 e-auctions of mineral ore conducted, 16.03 million tons of ore already sold. Sameep Narvekar, Ishal Sheikh, Sandeep Kamalkar and Sham Chari for GOA365 from Porvorim.
Despite promises of free water, locals claim that they are being charged more heavily than ever before, with bills grossing to thousands of rupees. Kamoli Rai locals have demanded that 16,000 units of water should be free to all consumers irrespective of their total consumption. The residents wanted the panchayat to take up the matter with the government. Here's more.
Sarpanch Basilio Fernandez met with the executive engineer of the water department after receiving several complaints over hefty water bills and demanded that immediate action be taken to resolve the issue.
घेतलेली आणि ग्रामसभा मेंबर्सांनी आमकां कंप्लेन केले ह्यूज वॉटर बिल्स येयल्यांक म्हणून आनी आमी ती स्टडी केले आनी आमकांय बिल्स एक्सेस बिलिंग जालो आनी गव्हर्मेंट आमकां सांगता 16 युनिट्स फ्री मेळटले म्हूण सो तेंगे सर्क्युलर प्रमाणे आयज आमी ही एक आमची कंप्लेन दिवपा येयल्ले तितून ही सांगता की सर्क्युलर प्रमाणे जे मनीस 40 युनिट्स वयर या 20 युनिट्स वयर यूज करतात तांकां तो बेनिफीट मेळना आमी गव्हर्मेंटाक डिमांड करतात या चीफ मिनिस्टराक सांगूंक सोदता 16 युनिट्स जे तेणी प्रॉमीस केला should be given to all, every consumer, irrespective whatever consumption they kotta te pirmani.
In addition to hefty bills, the department is also delaying the issue of bills and dues to be paid pile up to sums that are too high for the daily wage earner, Fernandez said. The locals who have found support with the panchayat are demanding that the bills be revised and provisions be made for paying dues in installments. Listen.
आणि जी बिल येयला 100 म्हयन्यान दिला म्हणटा 100 म्हयन्यान बिल येयला ते हजरांनी बिल येयला आनी जे डेली वेजीस लोक आहा तांकां ते पे करूंक जायना तांकां एकल्याक 10,000 11,000 बिल येयला तेंचे सॅलरीज आसा 8,000 9,000 सो फ्रॉम वे दे वील आतां ते कितें सांगतात इन्स्टॉलमेंटान या आपल्या अनेक कंप्लेन कर करेक्शन हो स्टडी करतात आनी तेजे उपरांत जाय जाल्यार इन्स्टॉलमेंट पे करपाक दिता म्हूण ही आमकां सांगला.
The executive engineer at the water department who met with the sarpanch and villagers has said that their matter would be taken up to the government and necessary decisions would be taken.
Tanchi complaint was regarding excessive billing. So I have listened to him. Tagel thodi proposals which he wants that we should take up to government regarding this new tariff what has been implemented. And I have justified why it has been made that way, that tariff. But his proposals are very good and we will put it across government. आता कितें जालां आमी जी नवी सिस्टम स्टार्ट केले ताजे प्रमाणे एक 4 to 5% लोकांक मातशे हाय बिल वतात बिकॉज ऑफ द फ्लॅट रेट विच इज एप्लिकेबल अबाव 40 युनिट्स and above 50 units. So let us see once we put up a proposal our higher authorities how they decide about it.
While the problem appears to be affecting a significant number of people, the executive engineer has said that only 4 to 5% of the villagers were receiving inflated bills, owing to higher consumption. Should consumption exceed 40 units, then consumers will be charged a flat rate, which accounts for higher bills, he said.
नाही पळय up to 40 units म्हणजे एक घराक 20 युनिट बी लागता नॉर्मली up to 40 units there are no changes in the tariff. Only those who are consuming more ताजे खातीर फ्लॅट रेट आसा थंय मातसो चेंजीस जाता थंय मातसो हायर वता बील. So that is the only reason. But this is either for a family who are having more number of members or sometimes we have seen की खूप जाणांनी भाड्याक बी दवरिल्ले आसता पळय तांकांय बी हाजो खूब इफेक्ट जाता म्हणजे बिकॉज देन कन्जम्पशन गोज हायर. पूण एक सी आतां आय हॅव एक्सप्लेन देम की ऑलमोस्ट आउट ऑफ 100% 40% पीपल आर गेटिंग झिरो बिल्स. आमचो डेटा आमचे कडेन आसा आनी एक 50 to 55% लोकांक नॉर्मल बील वता. ओन्ली 5% पीपल आर गेटिंग मोर वॉटर आनी तागेलो रिक्वेस्ट आसा तो वी वील कन्सिडर. बट पीपल शूड कम एंड गिव अ कंप्लेन सो दॅट वी एक्झामीन each complaint. There could be some minor issues in the billing which we can sort it out.
However, this time round, delayed billing has also contributed to higher rates, the executive engineer admitted, saying that this was due to lack of staff who had been drafted for election duty.
फाटल्या दिसांनी आमी नवी सिस्टम स्टार्ट केली, ताजे खातीर मातशी डिले जाल्ली आनी मागीर इलेक्शना टायमार आमचे खुबशे स्टाफ ऑन इलेक्शन ड्युटी आशिल्ले. दॅट वॉज द रिजन दीस बील डिले जाले. पूण आतां आमी वी वील सी टू इट दॅट बिल्स आर इशूड विदीन 45 to 60 days.
Sandeep Twankar for GOA365 from Margao.
Ramesh Tavadkar was elected as the Speaker during the first session of the Assembly of the new government. The state budget will be presented in the second session and it will be tabled by the Chief Minister in the House.
The first day of election began with the Speaker's election. Kankona MLA Ramesh Tavadkar from ruling BJP panel and Alexis Sequeira from opposition were in ring. Tavadkar was elected as Speaker with 24 votes. Sequeira got 14 votes. Pro Tem Speaker handed over his baton to Tavadkar. Listen to him after he spoke to GOA365 later.
म्हजे सारको एक शेतकरी कुटुंबांतल्यान आयिल्लो तरुण जो आसा न्ही, सामाजीक चळवळींतल्यान आयिल्लो तरुण जो आसा न्ही, म्हाका दिसता ह्या पोस्टाचेर म्हजें अपॉयंटमेंट करप म्हज्या फॅमिलीचो, म्हज्या बरोबर आशिल्ले कार्यकर्ते तांचो सबंद गोंयच्या एक बहुजन समाजाचो सन्मान अशें हांव धरून वता. की संविधानीक जो पोस्ट आसा, कितलो मोठो पोस्ट आशिल्ल्या कारणान जे आसा त्या पदाचो गरिमा जी आसा, त्या पदाची उंची आसा, डेप्थ जी आसा ती जर आमी समजून घेवपाक गेलो तर जायत न्ही, जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता आनी त्या पदाचो उपयोग करून आमी घेवपाक शकलो तर जायत न्ही. मग केंद्र सरकाराच्यो योजना आसल्यो, स्टेट गव्हर्मेंटाच्यो योजना आसल्यो, ह्या सगळ्याचो उपयोग जो आसा न्ही तो आमी केवळ काणकोण मतदारसंघांकच न्ही जाल्यार म्हाका सबंद गोंयांक करूं शकता. हेजी व्हडली ताकद आशिल्लो हो पोस्ट.
Tomorrow is the budget session. The budget will be tabled at 3 in the evening. In morning, rice business of the House will take place. Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant told GOA365.
ओके, 3 वरांचेर बजेट जातले. तेच्या पयलींचो सकाळचो बिझनेस वेगवेगळो आसा. बजेट म्हणल्या उपरांत वोट येता तो आतां फाल्यां तो सांगला न्ही तुका स्वयंपूर्ण गोंय 2.0 पयलीं बजेट करुया मरे.
Shyam Chari for GOA365 from Pune.
We will take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Various projects are underway in Goa. There have been many cases where workers at many of the projects have not been paid. Now here is an example of the workers of the Ayush Hospital in Dhargar who have not been paid for so many months. Here's more.
The Ayush Hospital is a central government project coming up at Sukekulan in Dhargar. Almost 80% of the work here is complete, but workers here are not being paid by the contractors. Now, frustrated workers argued with the contractors on Tuesday on the wages issue. Watch.
जो लेजर है खर्चा पानी लिया वही लिया, वो जो मशीन खरीदा वो मशीन का पैसा पूरा काट, जो बिल बनाया मेरे को जो उसमें मेरे 60-70 निकल रहा है, जैसे सर से बात करके।
अरे मार्च खत्म होगा तो बिल बनेगा, तो अप्रैल में पेमेंट होगा ना।
पेमेंट होगा
अभी कैसे पेमेंट हो जाएगा?
मगर वो फरवरी बिल बना हुआ है।
अच्छा फरवरी बिल हो तो पेमेंट हो गया, उसका थोड़ी पैसा निकल रहा है।
उसका कहाँ सर पूरा मिल दिया,
तो क्या पैसा हुआ तो देख ले, लेजर मंगा दे इसको, लेजर दिखा दे इनको, लाख फरवरी का लेजर
परसों बिल बना
दिखा दे, परसों बिल बनेगा तो अप्रैल में पेमेंट होगा। रोज बिल बनता रहेगा तेरे क्या?
सर फरवरी का बिल,
क्या फरवरी का बिल है? वो तेरे हिसाब के लिए बनाए थे, तो तू तो काम कर लेगा तब वो बिल बनेगा।
काम तो सर कर रहे हैं, हम
कर रहा है तो फिर आज किया है काम, घूम रहा है
तो यार मेरे को पकड़ बैठे पैसा
पकड़ बैठे, मैं क्या करूँ उसको?
Listen to what supervisor has to say on same.
आणि मदीं आतां पेमेंट त्यांचे प्रॉब्लेम जाला, आपयतना तेमी म्हटलें कितें लॉस बीन जाता नाल्यार कितें आहा जाल्यार चड करून तुका पर्सेंटेज वाडून दिता म्हणून. आनी आतां लास्टाक प्रॉब्लेम जाले काय मागीर सगळे हात वयर काडटा आनी फाटी आहा, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी घेना आतां. तें आतां लास्ट लेबरांचेर डिपेंड आहा कितें करता लेबर्स. कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर सारके हात वयर काडला, तो कांयच करूंक शकना, तेजे कडेन पयशे बीन कांयच ना. काल डेट आहलो पेमेंट दिवपाक, सगल्यांक दिला, फकत VS कन्स्ट्रक्शन हेंकां सोडून सगल्यांक दिला. तेच न्हू आतां तेंचे कितें प्रॉब्लेम, कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर उरलेलो तेजे वांगडा आनी तेजे वांगडा कन्वर्सेशन करूंक ना, विचारूंक ना कितें जालें तें. स्टील आज तेंचे काम इफ पेमेंट जालेलें आहलें जाल्यार आज कामाक येवपाचें मी. पूण जावंक ना आनी हेंचे कितें म्हणटा एडवान्स सुद्दां दिवंक नाका तांकां कितें रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीच घेना कंपनी आतां DVP जाल्यार बऱ्यांचे डिपेंड आहा कितें करता तें.
Yes, the project started with a bang, but now it has become a threat for the workers who are working. Some frustrated workers left for their homes after waiting for their wages. Some other workers questioned the contractor in the hope of getting the wages out. Listen to the supervisor on the issue.
आमी काम करपाक हांगा कितें लेबर आहले थोडे 13 जाण घरा गेला 5-6 दिसा पयलीं
तांकां पगार दिवंक
दिवंक ना वेट करून तांकां दिवंक ना पेमेंट दिवंक ना हांव तांकां घरा वचपाचे पयशे दिता बेस्ट 2500 रुपीज दिला आनी घरा धाडला तांकां.
डीबी प्रोजेक्ट हाँ जी नहीं दिया अपना कर्जा पानी लेके खाना खाए हैं यहाँ दुकान का बात.
Sandeep Kamulkar for GOA365 from Dhargal.
The world is seeing a new wave of COVID-19 infections with a sharp surge in daily cases in several countries. The only relief is that the new round of infection is not seeing a high mortality rate when compared to the Delta wave. While India remains in the green zone so far, China and Europe are battling the COVID spike.
India reported 1,259 new COVID cases over the last 24 hours, which is less than yesterday's tally. 35 deaths were reported in the country, and the recovery rate stands at 98.75%, whereas daily and weekly positivity rates stand at 0.22% and 0.25%. 1,259 fresh cases reported in the last 24 hours. 35 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate stands at 98.75%. The interval between two doses of the Covishield vaccine against COVID-19 will remain at 12 to 16 weeks, the Health Ministry has decided, despite an expert panel's recommendation that the gap should be reduced to 8 to 16 weeks. The US eased government COVID-19 travel ratings for India and some other countries on Monday. The State Department on Monday lowered its travel advisory for India to level 2, exercise increased caution, reflecting the lower COVID-19 risk, but also cited the risk of crime and terrorism. The highly contagious Omicron variant of COVID-19 has mutated further to form a new sublineage called the stealth Omicron. This subvariant is now the most dominant strain in the US, UK, China and some other parts of Asia and Europe. After a long pause with a steady fall in the cases across countries, stealth Omicron is triggering a fresh wave of infections. According to the CDC, around 33% of positive COVID cases in the country is associated with the stealth Omicron subvariant. China is also facing a surge in daily cases, following which the government has imposed a strict lockdown in its biggest city, Shanghai, for mass testing. The city is home to over 26 million people. Bureau Report, GOA365.
With India is bolstering its defence capabilities, Goa has been seeing increased attention from the defence industry and armed forces. The Indian Navy has announced a squadron of P-81 will be commissioned at INS Hansa here in Goa. Here's more.
Indian Naval Air Squadron 316, the Navy's second P-8I aircraft squadron, will be commissioned at Goa's INS Hansa in the presence of Admiral R. Hari Kumar, Chief of the Naval Staff and other prominent dignitaries. INAS 316 will operate the Boeing P-8I, the most sophisticated multi-role, long-range maritime reconnaissance and anti-submarine warfare aircraft in the world as of today. The Navy had acquired the first batch of 8 P-8I aircrafts in 2013 that are stationed at INS Rajali, Arakonam. INS 316 will operate the second batch of 4 additional aircrafts acquired, adding teeth to the armour of the Indian Navy to deter, detect and destroy any threat to the nation.
P-8I squadron of the Navy marks yet another important step towards enhancing our combat capability. In today's dynamic and complex security situation, the squadron's operational capabilities will significantly enhance our ability to protect, preserve and promote our national maritime interests. And since their induction in 2013, the P-8Is have demonstrated their ability to be force multipliers across a wide spectrum of missions.
INAS 316 has been christened the Condors, one of the world's largest flying birds with a large wingspan. The insignia of the squadron depicts a condor searching over the blue expanse of the sea. The new air squadron will be commanded by Commander Amit Mohapatra, an accomplished Boeing P-8I pilot with extensive operational experience. Hiru Mahale for GOA365 from Vasco.
We will take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Goa is one of the most developed states in the country. However, with all the development, it has also preserved its heritage and culture and celebrates all the traditional festivals. Here we see Shigmo being celebrated where the Sri Santa Devi is brought from the Kumarzwa temple to Keran, her mother's place, on Saturday 26th, where she stays for 8 days. Watch.
On Sunday 26th, Sri Shantadurga Kumbarzuvekarin Devi was taken to boat to Keran, a place from Kumbarzwa village. This is known as the maternal place of Sri Shantadurga. She stays there for 8 days. On Monday 28th, women from Kumbarzwa welcomed and offered their prayers to Devi Shantadurga with a dindi dance and various rituals. Watch. Shweta Gaonkar for GOA365 from Kumbarzwa.
And now for the weather. As per IMD forecast, the weather is expected to remain dry over the state today with very little to no chance of rainfall occurring. While maximum temperature is not expected to rise over the next 4 to 5 days, locals are advised to take necessary care owing to the hot climate currently prevailing over the state. Here's more.
Maximum and minimum temperature is likely to hover around 34 degrees Celsius and 27 degrees Celsius respectively today. Skies will remain partly cloudy for the remainder of the day, however rainfall is not likely. Haze and light mist is expected at isolated areas, as such those travelling are advised to remain alert. There are no weather or fishermen warnings issued so far. Weather to remain dry for the next 5 days starting March 29th. Maximum and minimum temperatures today 34 degrees Celsius and 27 degrees Celsius respectively. Maximum temperature to remain stable for the next 4 to 5 days. Haze and light fog expected at isolated areas today. No weather or fishermen warnings issued so far. Bureau Report GOA365 with inputs from IMD.
With that, we have come to the end of this news bulletin. For more news and updates, log on our website www.goa365.tv. Follow us on Facebook, GOA365 TV, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, GOA365 TV, or download our app, which is available on both Android and iOS, to watch all the latest news and updates on your mobile. Take care, stay safe, and keep watching GOA365.